Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if it looks like it came out of an alien's ass, then it does seem like it tastes better. I'm going to be late for work. All this stuff was happening in my head.
Yeah.
And so I, eventually just had to get to the other side of the platform and then take the walk of shame back through the tunnel. Just take it.
Those bastards.
Take it from anybody.
Just outtake it and just meet me at Hayward and show up with some cash. That's what they do.
Welcome to Hella Foggy, a podcast about the Bay Area.
I'm Greg, and he's Wayne.
We're two Bay Area natives from both sides of the bay.
Our podcast gets a little ranty.
A little sentimental.
Sometimes informative.
But mostly pointless.
Basically, it's just us trying to make sense of this weird place we love and call home.
So hold your breath going through the Transbay Tube.
And enjoy Hella Foggy.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Doot. That's our thing.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, what's going on?
Nothing. Wayne, how are you this beautiful Sunday?
It's a Sunday today, huh? Yeah. We usually record on Saturday, but today's Sunday, and it's gorgeous. I mean, it's been really pretty recently.
Yeah. I was in Napa, but then I went to Sonoma.
Oh, nice.
I went to a tomato sale.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you happen to purchase any?
I didn't, but my friend got some tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Like the ones with the different varietals. There's a special name for it, right? Those
old tomatoes.
the yellow ones and the heirloom. Yeah, heirloom tomatoes.
Yeah, they're all sorts of crazy fancy tomatoes.
Nice.
I'm not I'll be honest, like I'm not a big going out of my way to eat tomatoes kind of guy, but these were good looking tomatoes. These were good looking tomatoes.
My experience is the uglier the tomato, the better it tastes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. If it looks like it came out of an alien's ass, then it does seem like it tastes better.
It's kind of like apples. Like a good looking apple usually tastes like ass. Like Red Delicious. Screw Red Delicious. Disgusting.
Oh, no, they're the worst. They're the lamest. Yeah. I like the ones that are like...
It's like eating rubber.
Like green stripes and red. Like it didn't decide which color it wanted to be. Those are the good ones.
Yeah, because they're sincere.
They're humble.
So this is our new podcast format, two old men talking about produce.
I do want to go back a little bit and just clear up a couple things that we should take back. It's not a huge take back, but I feel like we didn't do much last time and I kind of missed it. I know you hate it.
It's not that I hate it. I like it when it's not half the show.
Speaking of,
well, I think we're getting better at actually like not inventing stuff.
Yeah,
like ChatGPT.
Okay,
that's good.
Yeah, but the name of the carousel at Great America. So the Carousel Columbia is actually the name of it.
The big double decker.
The big double decker, the great majestic merry-go-round that greets you when you walk into Great America. Which, by the way, we talked about like anniversaries and birthdays and all that stuff last time.
Yeah.
About how old things were.
Mm-hmm.
Great America just turned 50.
No, congratulations, Great America.
Yeah, you're a youngin'. And then I also mistakenly said that the Grizzly was an original ride. It's not. It didn't get built until 1986. The park was a teenager almost by the time it started.
And you were a teenager.
We were all teenagers at one point.
That is true.
Gross.
You're right.
I hated teenage years. Those are the worst years.
There was good. There was bad.
More bad than good.
I'm sorry though, Wayne, and I wish I could have turned your teenage years into something more wonderful.
Oh, that would have been really nice.
Yes,
mentored by my cool friend Greg, who's 5 years older than me.
I was not cool. Don't even worry about that.
Well, you know somebody pretty cool.
I do.
A friend of yours. I don't know how long you've known this person, but it sounds like you guys go way back.
Since 5th grade.
Oh, good grief. That's preteen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Her name is Francesca, and I was in 5th grade through some of high school because she moved away.
Okay.
But also known as Francie.
Francie's a listener.
She's a listener, and she's a very engaged listener, the best kind of listeners, because there's a lot of listeners who don't engage. And yeah, I'm calling you out if you're not sending us messages.
Oh, yeah. Just to remind people, we do have ways to get a hold of us. I'm going to repeat it later on. You can email us at hellafoggypodcast@gmail.com or go to our Instagram. Back to you, Greg.
Yes, and Francesca is an engaged listener, so she wins today's prize. So she was kind enough to reach out to me and give me a very detailed response to various topics. And so here we go.
Oh, yeah?
And we're going to discuss these. It's almost like Francesca is the third host of this podcast today, at least for this segment.
You're going to channel your inner Francie right now.
Nah, I'm not going to do that because that's weird, Wayne. But so these are her comments. So number 1, regarding Pier 39. One of the best things about it was the arcade, and I was surprised you left that out after the previous week of arcade coverage. Do you want to tackle this, Wayne?
I agree. The arcade at Pier 39 was huge, and it was amazing. I just didn't go to it very often because that was a haul for me to go into the city. And it's very touristy there as well. It's not like I would go there and hang out.
I do feel like they had those dollar crazy machines. Mm-hmm. They were more like the ones you actually sat in and they like flipped around and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, the more high tech ones, yeah.
The more high tech ones, and I think for square footage, they covered a lot of ground and there was a lot of choice.
Yeah, still remember. I can picture it in my head where it was, and as you were walking in to Pier 39, it was on the right hand side.
Yeah, and it was relatively non-sleazy.
Yeah. For sure.
My favorite arcade in San Francisco was on Broadway, and it was just this random arcade.
Oh yeah, you mentioned.
And that place was like very sleazy because it was on Broadway, and it smelled like burnt ozone and fire.
You know, there's one in the Haight right now. Like they have a lot of pinball machines, but they also have a lot of arcade games as well in the Haight.
Okay.
If you're ever in the area and need to get a little shot of nostalgia.
When are you going down to Haight to play pinball, Wayne?
And just average Thursday. Not very often.
No, that's such
I did go to...
Where did you go?
Oh, no, I went to the record store. Is that Amoeba?
Yeah, Amoeba's in the Haight.
I was going down there, and then my buddy told me, like, oh, yeah, there's an arcade right around the corner. Want to go? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to go. Let's go check it out. Played a couple games, and then that was it.
Wayne has all these hidden depths, and that's one of the reasons I love doing this podcast, because I find out more about Wayne every week. Every 2 weeks, I guess.
Every 2 weeks. All right. Well, is there another comment from Francie?
Yes. We were talking about ornithologists.
Oh, the bird doctors.
Yes. And then...
Or bird scientists or whatever.
The word... So Francesca says the word that you confused it with was otolaryngologist.
The otolaryngologist.
I think you just made up a word that sounded almost like a real word.
I think I was just rambling.
Francesca, in her spirit of generosity, pretended like you were trying to say a real word, right? Do you think that's the case?
Very generous of her. I probably confused, or at least mixed up, what you had said with the bird doctor. Or
yeah, but I think I was talking about, they're not doctors.
No, sorry. Bird expert.
Yeah.
I was confusing, or I had sort of fused together that word plus what I had known about an otolaryngologist and just made up something at the same time.
So, and then...
Because I have been to an otolaryngologist before to check out my throat.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Yeah, they stuck a tube up my nose.
You're not making this up.
No. I literally had a camera tube stuck through my nose, down my throat, and I had to swallow it so that it would go even further down my throat.
Oh, and that's the larynx part.
Yeah. It's an ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Okay. And we were talking about birds.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if you had a bird stuck in your nose.
That would be even worse. Or maybe, I don't know. We'll have to find out one day.
Because maybe they'd have to call in the ornithologist to help them remove the bird from your nose. Wayne, I don't know why you're shoving birds up your nose. So what she goes on to say, he could be forgiven based on your pronunciation. Slight dig at me, but okay.
Hey, thanks, Francie. I do the same.
Number 3, there are some feral parrots down in the South Bay. 2 now.
There's 2 of them.
There are. Let me read that again. There are some feral parrots down in the South Bay too now.
Oh.
Not sure if they're the same species or if it's only one species in either location. When I was in LA recently, there were 3 different species of parakeet flocks flying around. That's fascinating.
It is. There's been a lot of birds in the area. I don't know about in Martinez.
Yeah, there's a lot of birds in the area because we live in the world and there's lots of birds everywhere. What do you mean?
Annoyingly so, though. Like, they're crapping on our side view mirrors. Like, they perch on our side view mirrors, right?
And crap on them?
Yeah, they're just turlets for them.
But are you saying there's more birds in the world now than there were?
There's more birds than cars that I have. And apparently, all of them are using my passenger side window as a toilet.
How many cars do you own?
We have 3 cars in our household.
So you're saying there's more than 3 birds in the world?
More than 3 birds in my immediate vicinity.
I think that's true all the time.
Probably.
Like, I don't know, because there's birds, the density of birds versus cars you own, unless you live in the desert or in the sea.
I think it's a new thing. I think it's a new thing in the last, I don't know, 600 years that they're using cars as toilets. Traditionally, they use trees.
The 600 years they were using. So 500 years past the invention of cars, they've been using car windows. Half a millennium prior to the invention of vehicles of cars.
Oh God! All right, should we move on to?
Yeah, you're not helping yourself. Let's be honest. Okay, so number 4 is actually, she makes a very good point.
Yeah.
A shameful omission. Lombard Street, we've left out Lombard Street. Lombard Street was another silly tourist thing you left out.
Yes, that is 100% true. And that's shameful that we forgot to mention one of the most iconic tourist attractions in San Francisco.
And I would hate to live on Lombard Street. So what is Lombard Street, Wayne?
It is, weirdly enough, not the most crooked street in San Francisco, but it's famous for being so. It is just a section of Lombard, which is not just this crooked part, it's actually straight, but for 1 block down a hill, it is a winding snake-like street that goes back and forth.
Yeah, switchbacks, but it's also like beautifully maintained.
It's very pretty. There's a lot of beautiful flowers that have been planted along the way down.
And there are a lot of tourists who think it'll be fascinating to go down the crookedest street in the world, so-called. And I don't think it's that fascinating.
No?
But like I said, I would not want to live on Lombard Street because invariably there's some goon going down your street going, I'm on the crookedest street in the world.
Yeah, that's been a thing for a very long time.
Yes. And thank you, Francesca, for pointing out a crime of omission on our part that is frankly embarrassing.
All right.
I will say Francesca has one more comment.
Oh, does she? Okay. All right.
Wayne he just wants to get this thing moving along because we started late today. My fault. So Francesca's 5th comment. I'm embarrassed to admit.
Not you.
No, because I'm never embarrassed. I'm shameless. Francesca says, I'm embarrassed to admit I wound up having to buy a sweatshirt in San Francisco last summer because apparently as a South Bay resident, I'm sometimes kind of a tourist. I bought mine from House of Nanking. Delicious House of Nanking.
Famous House of Nanking.
Famous.
Yeah.
And House of Nanking is in Chinatown.
You can also buy a lot of sweatshirts in Chinatown as well.
I would say you could buy more sweatshirts in Chinatown. You could open a store based on the sweatshirts you buy in Chinatown. Because there's that many sweatshirts.
That would be a fun fun thing to explore.
What, starting a store?
Starting a store of secondhand. I just bought these this morning. They're fresh off the rack. Come by here.
And that now we're announcing our next podcast. Wayne and I are going to open a sweatshirt shop. It's going to be our year in sweatshirts, and it's going to be our 12-month adventure selling sweatshirts. But we should pick a neighborhood that doesn't have good sweatshirt coverage, like
Visitation Valley.
Yeah. Yeah. We open a massive sweatshirt shop, and we'd be like Tommy Wiseau, but with sweatshirts instead of blue jeans, and we'd be in Visitation Valley instead of wherever his thing was. So those were Francesca's comments, and they were good comments, and they were lovely, engaged comments. Yeah. If you have more comments like that, and you want your name shared with almost dozens of people, this is your chance. But then, Wayne, you were, before I interrupted you angrily,
you were telling me that you went on this little deep dive rabbit hole the other day. Of interacting on Reddit.
Where people are grumpy.
I'm scared of the people on Reddit a little bit. So
I went in the Bay Area Reddit, and then I just said, hey, I have a podcast, because, and I don't know how to use Reddit, but everyone seems mad all the time. And of course...
Are you supposed to do that? Are you not allowed?
I think it's just anything that anyone says about themselves, people assume that they're trying to rip people off. So on the Bay Area Reddit, I said, hey, I have I was very, very specific about this. I have a non-monetized podcast about the Bay Area, and I'd love, just come and hang out and listen. And of course, it got voted down to 0 almost immediately, but there was some engagement, and there was a very kind fellow. This is what he posted. He said, thank you. I'll check it out. Also, I wanted to ask you if in a future episode, as a transit fan / lover who never used transit, especially BART before the pandemic, could you make an episode of your experiences using it before COVID? I have heard it was a different experience than it is today, but while I was only once in the Bay in 2019, I did not ride BART on that occasion.
Well, you missed out then.
And I didn't come until 2022 again.
Yeah, no, thank you for the comment, though. Like, even bringing up the subject matter.
Yes. He goes on to say,
okay.
So I would really appreciate it if you could talk about it as a Bay Area local native. That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. It was actually one of our brainstorming topics that we had prior to starting the podcast.
Yeah, and it's weird to think about, but the Bay Area has these a lot of odd kind of public transit franchises that we don't think about. But like cable cars are nuts. Cable cars are the stupidest thing in the world. And I know we've spoken about them, right?
Yeah. Yep, we did. And they're very limited, right, to where you can go. And it's just essentially a section of the city that gets to use it.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's a crazy thing that is also this cool San Francisco. It's this dorky, like, tourist thing, kind of what we were just speaking about. But I love the cable car because it's so impractical and odd.
But the big one nowadays, the one that has the most reach, is BART, right? Bay Area Rapid Transit.
Yeah, Bay Area Rapid Transit. Yeah, and so when we were kids, so I think, I want to say BART opened 72, something like that.
Well, it'd been, I think you might be right.
It had been talked about since the 50s, but...
Have you ever seen the original 1950, I think might have been late 50s, 57 maybe, plans for BART?
No.
Yeah, it goes everywhere. I mean, it goes up into Sonoma County, and it goes as far down as like Santa Clara.
Right.
But it's pretty... Like, we missed out. I think there was an opportunity to really have this system that can get you anywhere and everywhere in the Bay Area, but it sort of fell through, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at a map right now. Like, the first proposed one in 1957 or 56 or 7 was Santa Rosa.
Jeez.
Was the northernmost reach.
Yeah.
And potentially had gone down to even Los Gatos in, past San Jose.
So drive, just for sake of scale, drive time from Los Gatos, if you were to get in a car from Los Gatos to Santa Rosa, that'd be a good
3-hour drive.
Like a couple hours, right?
Yeah, especially if you're going through the city.
Yeah.
It would have made things so much more convenient. Initially, I used to think that how many counties are there now in that picture? That would have been like all 9 counties incorporated into it.
Right.
But I think the 5 core counties that you've talked about before, the first one to actually say no, I used to think it was Marin, but it's not.
What was it?
San Mateo County actually was the one that bowed out first.
And then they came crawling back, didn't they?
They came crawling back. I mean, they got a little bit, like the first launch of BART incorporated just a hair of San Mateo County, because it terminated in Daly City, right?
Right.
But there was that. I think Santa Clara opted out completely initially.
Jerks.
They wanted to concentrate on their own transit system. I think San Mateo, they didn't want anything duplicative because they already had the train system with Caltrain. Or I think it was called something else before, but at some point they were like, why would we do something we already have?
Right.
And so that went out of the way. And then Marin also, jumped on the not in my neighborhood bandwagon. And, because that would have been even more difficult, right? Because you would have had to basically, build it onto the Golden Gate Bridge, essentially, to get across.
Yeah, because the depths there are not like, so there's the Transbay Tube that connects Oakland to San Francisco, and it goes under the water, and it's just the depths there are much shallower than the Golden Gate, which the Golden Gate is actually the name of that gap where you can come into the bay. Yeah, I would imagine it would have been a crazy engineering challenge. Yeah, and especially like, obviously there's a lot of very rich, important people, hello Marin, that live in Marin, but the density isn't that great in terms of cities, right? I mean, there's what?
It's pretty controlled, right? Like, it hasn't grown the way that, say, the Peninsula and the South Bay have grown, and the East Bay especially have grown in the last, 40 years. So
right. And then to get to, well, I guess like to get to Napa and ultimately Sonoma beyond that, you could go through, man, this is an interesting podcast. You could go through like Vallejo, Martinez, where I am now, and just keep going north. Yeah. But then you do have to cross a body of water.
Yeah. In order to get to certain places, there's nothing you can do that can avoid going across a bridge, right?
Right.
Unless you're taking the 2-week detour.
Yes. So there was a joke that before the Golden Gate Bridge went in, that advertising creative directors to commute had to take a wagon train from Marin, where they all live, to San Francisco, and it would take weeks.
Oh my God.
It's not a very good joke, but it is pointed, and I think there's a grain of truth in there, Wayne, like all good jokes.
There's a couple grains of truth. Growing up in the business, you just assumed that they all lived
in
up
the
there.
biz.
In the biz. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So
but you mentioned the Transbay Tube. The Transbay Tube is a pretty cool thing to begin with, right? The fact that we have connected essentially Oakland to San Francisco underneath the bay.
Right.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. And I remember as a kid thinking that it would have been like a glass.
Oh yeah. So you can see the fish.
Like a glass tube. So you could see like giant octopuses and sharks, because that was what I thought the ocean was.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. That would be, that would have been a lot cooler than just
what it is.
A tube. A dark tube.
Yeah.
I have a story about when BART launched.
Okay.
So my brother and his friend, who was our next door neighbor, they cut school.
Oh.
So they went on BART like the first week, and they went to San Francisco, and their adventure lasted like 3 stations before my brother's friend got motion sick and threw up. And the thing is like, if you haven't ridden BART, it ain't a motion sickness kind of thing, really. It's not. There's
no corkscrews on BART? What are you talking about?
No. But do you have stories about just riding BART? Like, we can talk about infrastructure all day, but what is like...
Other than like I've taken it into downtown San Francisco early in my career from either Daly City or Colma when it used to terminate down there. But I remember sort of in the morning closing my eyes just to get a little extra sleep before going to work.
Yeah.
And I would always know, like, okay, if I'm getting off at Embarcadero, for example, I sort of would start waking up, you know, in my mind, like, don't oversleep it because you're gonna miss it and you're gonna be screwed. And then I think one time I realized the noise was different, like the hum of the tunnel was slightly different than normal, right? Because when you're going in between Powell to Montgomery to Embarcadero, they're short distances. And so it's not like you're going at a certain speed, but when you're going through the tunnel, you're going at a pace that is unique. And so I was like, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't. And I looked around and there was much less people than normal. And then I was like, okay, well, my internal clock is saying that we should have hit the next station by now. Right. And it didn't. And all of a sudden there was sunlight coming out of the tunnel. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm in Oakland now.
But you're right, though. The sound of the Transbay has a very specific sound when you're going through it. Yeah. It's very clacky and more like a regular train because the distances when you're going through the city aren't standardized. So it's like you go and then you stop and you go and you stop and there's people coming on and the PA. Yeah. But then when you're going under the tube, it's like clack, 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 clack.
Yeah.
Plus the whistle of, it's electric. So it's like that weird, kind of like almost like an electric car. Yeah. But louder.
So I was stressing out for like a couple minutes where I'm like, oh shoot, what do I do? I've never done this. I've never missed it. I'm going to be late for work. All this stuff was happening in my head. Yeah. And so I, eventually just had to get to the other side of the platform and then take the walk of shame back through the tunnel. So.
Yeah. And then THX, we need to get our Lucas in. So THX, what's it, 3000?
1138.
Oh, geez. THX 1138 was filmed they were building BART. And so it was this dystopian future with a lot of bald people. That's all I remember. And they filmed it in BART. So there you go. There's your George Lucas, Wayne.
Lovely. End of story.
Wedge Antilles. Get it out of the way.
Not going to take the bait.
Wedge Antilles. Who's Wedge Antilles? Who is he? Who's Wedge Antilles? Let's do the Star Wars. Who's Wedge Antilles?
Weirdly enough, the actor. The actor that plays
I just had to poke you like 3 times.
His name is Dennis Lawson, and he's the actual, I think, maternal uncle of Ewan McGregor.
What?
Yes. Who plays young Obi-Wan.
Oh, that's actually interesting.
So,
huh.
Uncle Dennis.
Huh. Okay. All right. That was, I feel bad because that's actually kind of weird and interesting.
Okay. Well.
But anyways, so back to BART.
Moving along. But yeah, BART has grown, weirdly enough, like the limited amount of stations that they started off with in 1972 has grown tremendously. Right. And then it's all the way down in San Jose now for all the sort of, we don't need BART back in the 60s. Yeah. When Santa Clara County said no. Right. They are the endpoint now.
They're the terminus of BART.
The southern terminus of BART.
And so interesting, I found out recently that BART is this vampire of budgets where they can raid county transit budgets when they need to.
Just take it.
Those bastards.
Take it from anybody.
Outtake it and just meet me at Hayward and show up with some cash. That's what they do.
I'll be the guy wearing the black overcoat.
But okay, and then I have a sort of complaint about the experience of BART.
Okay, file it. File it.
At the Embarcadero station, I don't know if it's still there, so maybe I shouldn't complain about it, but I will. They commissioned this giant sculpture right? When BART opened. And it was this giant knotted thing. It looked like just a series of ropes, but like maybe 500 thick ropes. And it hung like 2 stories between the top kind of deck where you buy your tickets down to the floor of where the rails section was. And it just sat there for decades and just became this black, gross, greasy mass because you're putting fabrics and leaving them unwashed in a greasy environment for decades. And so it would hang there. And it was called like the legs or something.
Yeah.
Because I would go look at it just angry, like, oh, how much did this cost? I became like that guy. And it was gross. And there, I got it off my chest.
Good.
Now I can move on.
It's been weighing you down, I can hear in your voice.
Yeah.
But speaking of gross, right? I mean, talk about greasy and grimy and gross were the cloth upholstered seats in BART for so long, for the longest time. Like, I feel like the seats that were still in use in 2019 were from 1972.
Oh, yeah.
And it smelled like it.
Yeah.
Ugh. Some of the best things that happened in the last 5-6 years have been the upgrades to the BART trains.
Yeah, they've learned not to put absorbent anything in there.
No more carpet, no more cushion seats.
Everything's plastic and wipeable. Instead of sponges for decades of people's butts.
When I was taking BART, I remember like walking through car after car to find the blue seats versus the brown grody ones.
Oh, right. The yellow, kind of the gold brown ones.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Because you could first tell by smell and tell by sight. So yeah, it was gross.
Yeah.
But now they're all plastic or fiberglass or whatever the hell they are, right? You don't have to worry about that.
Here's a cure, because I've ridden BART for, I guess, 40 years or something, 35 years. I've never seen anyone actually do a gross thing, but I know there's gross things happening.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen. I can't erase some of those memories that I've had. There's been people like just camped out in like the back corners, right, of the cars.
Oh, there's loitering and kind of people setting up civilizations and stuff. Yeah, but I haven't seen someone actively
like defecating on it,
relieving themselves or vomiting or having sex
in that order. Yeah.
There.
Yeah. All right. The problem with BART is that it takes you to some prime locations within San Francisco and, in Oakland, I would say. But once you get beyond that, it's more of a commuter system, right? Because people are driving or getting to the BART stations and then going to centralized spots like downtown.
Once you get out of like the urban centers, they're not convenient always to get to where you want to go in a smaller town.
There's nothing about Coma that I want to go to other than, to die, but then also to hop on BART.
That would be awesome, though, if they did go to the cemeteries. If BART just and it was a tunnel. It was a tunnel, Wayne. And there you could see, it would be like in Paris when you go into Paris and there's the skeletons. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That actually would be kind of interesting.
What are those called?
Catacombs?
The catacombs.
The catacombs of Coma.
And there'd be a catacomb station. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, there's Joe DiMaggio.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So many missed opportunities with Colma and all the dead people there.
But there's that. But currently I take Caltrain.
What's that like? Is there a drink car?
Caltrain does not have a drink car, but you are allowed to drink on it. It's a BYOB system. especially before a baseball game, because it goes all the way up to the ballpark.
Yeah.
You can bring your own booze and you can drink and partake in a little celebration beforehand.
Yeah.
I think afterwards you're not allowed to. I think there's a rule because they don't want it to get too unruly.
And you don't want the vomiting and the...
Yeah. I used to hate like day games, leaving work and then having to sort of listen to the post-game...
The loud mouths.
Loud mouths. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Caltrain goes all the way down to Gilroy. It encompasses a lot. So
that does encompass a lot.
Yeah. Similar to BART. And over the last couple of years, they just upgraded themselves to an electric train system. So it's all electric now.
Ooh.
And they're really beautiful cars, and they're clean, and you should check it out. They
should call it the Electric Boogaloo.
Caltrain 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Right. Exactly.
So, you were asking about like having a bar or a beverage cart. You've taken the ferries before, right? I've heard that the ferries have bars.
Yeah, they have. I love the ferry. Ferry is very. We don't seem to utilize ferries for as ocean oriented we are as a community.
Yeah,
I met you infamously for lunch in the city.
Yep.
And I took the ferry from Vallejo to San Francisco, and it was lovely. And there was a bar. It was very comfortable. It wasn't crowded. The guy's ticket machine wasn't working, so he let me on for free. I cannot say that will happen to you, but that was nice.
Yeah.
And it's like $8. It's like $8 to cross the Pacific Ocean to get to San Francisco. And there's a bar, and you can buy nuts.
Okay.
And you can go stand in the sun.
That is pretty cool.
And look at the islands as you pass by, the various islands of the bay.
That has to be the best. Like in terms of experiences, that's probably the best.
Yeah.
Transit. Like we have friends that have taken that, and I have coworkers that have taken that, routinely.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we have Marin friends that take their little ferry over.
As they, for
right?
sure. I think you can get on...
Like Stupid Peter?
I don't call him that, but sure.
Well, you should, because he's an idiot. But Stupid Peter takes the ferry, and there's other people that take the ferry.
Yeah, from like Alameda, right? That's the short ride. That's the quick one, for sure. I think there used to be one in South City.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever got that up and running again. But
there should be ferries galore, but there's not. And that bums me out. A commute that I enjoyed when I was doing that sort of thing was coming from San Francisco on the county. It was a coach from the transit terminal or something, where all the buses hang out.
Yeah, the Transbay terminal.
And it stopped like 2 blocks from my house when I lived in Berkeley.
Oh, wow. That's convenient.
Wayne, they had Wi-Fi.
This is like in 2000 maybe?
Wi-Fi.
They had Wi-Fi back then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So if you wanted to get some work done, or just like look at the internet because you're a boring person, you could do that on the bus. And it was very comfortable.
I think that's the big thing now, though. Like all the big tech companies, right? Especially like the ones like Google or whatever that have offices all over the Bay Area.
Right.
And they bus people, right? So if you're going down to Mountain View, they have the Google buses, and they have the Wi-Fi, and you can literally work the entire time.
Yeah. There's a thing we talked about, and this is more a whimsical thing, but flying internal to the Bay Area, can you take a jet? Like, I want to be able to take a commercial flight from Oakland to San Francisco, because I think it would take like 5 minutes.
5 minutes and $500 later.
Yeah, I know it would be really expensive and stupid, or to San Jose. I think it's more likely you're going to be able to book a flight from Oakland or San Francisco to San Jose. I think it's too insane to fly between Oakland and SFO. Like it's too nutty.
Yeah, you don't even reach altitude. You just like go halfway up and then you're back down, right?
Yeah, that's probably dangerous. And there's probably like some weirdos would like use it to get like 10,000 miles on their frequent flyer program. Just like work all day, going back and forth.
5 miles at a time.
Well, figure a plane. How fast do planes go? They go like 300 miles an hour.
Close, yeah, probably.
And that's like 50 miles. 50 miles. Let's say it's 50 miles. It's probably not as far.
To San Jose, yeah. I'm thinking the San Francisco SFO to Oakland is probably like 10 miles across the bay.
Although you probably could take some weird charter service.
Oh yeah, the small airports, right? Yeah, like you can. There's one down in San Carlos, an airfield in San Carlos.
I lived near Buchanan Field in Concord, I think it is.
Okay. Hey, maybe you can take a little crop duster across the bay and meet me in San Carlos.
What's the smallest commercial flight, like plane-wise, that you've been on?
Commercial? When I was on my honeymoon in Australia, we would go from city to city within the country, and literally like maybe 20 rows and then 2 seats on each side. Yeah. And that was it. Or maybe it was 2 and then 1 even. Yeah. So it was tiny.
I flew from Molokai to Maui.
Oh, yeah. The island to island hoppers, yeah.
Yeah. So there was the pilot, the co-pilot, me, and the other passenger in a little Cessna.
Oh, wow.
And so
and some cages of hens and chickens.
Exactly. And the safety protocol speech was by the captain, who was sitting 5 inches in front of me. Yeah. And it was basically, that's the door, that's the other door. And the flight took like 15 minutes.
You meant, we talked about the greater Bay Area and how to connect to that. You used to live in San Francisco though, right? And so you've experienced like trying to get around San Francisco using Muni.
Yeah. Oh, there was at the time, and I haven't ridden Muni in years, but I had a weird commute I lived in the Haight, and I would go to 9th and Irving, which is like the avenues, right? And it was an opposite commute from everybody else in San Francisco. And there was the Muni Meltdown, where Muni just stopped working for a variety of reasons. But there were cases where the train would stop in a tunnel and be there for 45 minutes just sitting there while people are like yelling. And there were cases of the train operator leading people out of the tunnel into land.
Follow me.
Yeah, basically. Like they were in a flooded mine.
He's got the torch in one hand.
Exactly. If you want to live. So I would call Muni every day. It's like, what the fart are you doing? This is so insane. And then, we're trying and blah, blah, blah. And then I found out there was a rule, and I'm probably going to get this wrong. And I want to say I support unions, but there was a union rule that you could have a day where you just don't show up. You didn't have to call ahead. You didn't have to call in sick. You didn't have to clear it with anybody. Yeah. You just don't show up. And so I started calling the union and saying, well, because calling Muni was doing nothing.
You had the union line.
Yeah. So I started calling the union, and the union's like, this is not our problem. But I was that frustrated. I was calling everybody I could call. And I don't know what I expected would happen if I called Muni or if I called the union, because nothing happened. And eventually, I guess they fixed it. I don't know. But yeah, Muni is difficult. So Muni is the light rail within San Francisco, right?
Yeah, as well as the bus lines. Because I'll take the train up to San Francisco and I'll jump onto a streetcar from there. It's interesting. There's just a certain number of letters that are designated per streetcar line, right? And I always wondered what and how they were designated, right? It never made sense to me.
Yeah, like the N Judah.
The N Judah, why not be the J Judah? But J is for the church line.
J Church. And there was actually a band in San Francisco called J Church.
Oh, really? Okay.
So that's fun. Yeah.
And there's the K.
The Taraval.
L for Taraval, right? But not T for Taraval, but
Parnassus.
I think the M used to go by SF State.
Right.
And then there's, the one down Market is actually really cool. The F line.
Is it really cool?
It is cool though. Like, it's
cool?
not just Because they have streetcars from all over the country.
Oh, that's right. They have the vintage,
like Boston cars. Yeah.
The trolleys.
Yeah. Right. Sorry. The trolley that goes up and down Market. And I believe now on the Embarcadero as well. So they'll have different cars.
Yeah. And it's cool because they're all very different. And there'll be like one from Prague and then one from Chicago and then
Boston.
One from Boston.
Yeah.
Like from all over the world.
Yeah.
But it's also weird because they're inconsistent then because they're different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how they work?
I don't know. Probably close enough. Let's go with it. But yeah, there's really only maybe 7 or 8 streetcars now, but it originally started as a wider system. Because remember, the ferry building used to sort of be the main entrance to the city when the ferries were a big thing, and all the streetcars, or a majority of the streetcars, would sort of terminate also at the ferry building, and you just jump on whatever appropriate car and go to your destination.
Right.
It's funny, we talked about the Richmond district a while ago, and there used to be streetcars that would go to the Richmond, like down Gary. So Gary would have one, and then one would sort of like veer off and go down, I think, either Balboa or something. So yeah, there were like, I think those used to be called the A, B, and C line or something.
Right.
So there used to be a big alphabet of different streetcars, and these are the ones that exist now are the ones that have essentially survived.
Speaking of trains, not that we're speaking of trains, but where I grew up, there used to be a train you could catch from Walnut Creek that would go all the way to Berkeley.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah. And so now what was the railroad, I guess you would call it, is a series of bike trails.
It's like, I love trains too. Like sort of like reassuring sounds in the night that life is still going on. Yeah. I love hearing, like the horns of the train. Growing up, I used to live by the airport, and I would hear just planes taking off in the middle of the night. And that was sort of like this, another thing like, oh, this is cool. Like we live in this very active world where things are happening all the time.
That's true. That's something we don't talk about. Like it sets like foghorns, like foghorns. Exactly. When you live down in the fog belt, they're reassuring. And I don't know why they're reassuring, because I never worried about a giant freighter crashing into anything, but
barreling into Lafayette.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's a warmth to the sound that's really nice.
Lovely.
We covered a lot of ground considering we know nothing about transit.
Apparently we're good at making up a lot of stuff. So
Yeah. That's what we're good at. Lying.
Well, the train ride's over then. Let's wrap it up.
Oh, that's very sad.
But it was a good topic, interesting topic. Thank you for our new listener from Reddit for recommending we talk about that. If you are interested in something else that we have not touched yet, let us know.
Right.
You can reach us at hellafoggypodcast@gmail.com or let us know on our social media channel on Instagram at hellafoggypodcast.
Right.
So check that out.
And then recently, our friend Nancy pointed out we need to do a restaurant episode. So maybe that's a thing to look out for in the near future.
Yeah.
Also, thank you to Francesca for asking us and pointed questions and keeping us honest.
Yes. Keeping us honest is something that I feel like more people need to call us out on.
Yes.
We probably get a lot of things wrong.
We continue to fail. Hell of failure is what we should call this.
Oh, yeah. Let's wrap it up then.
All right, Wayne. Thank you for spending such lovely time with me.
Yeah. I look forward to every weekend that we get to chat.
That's nice.
Till the next time, Greg.
Bye-bye, Wayne.
Catch you in a couple weeks.
All right, Wayne. Bye.
Bye. Especially now that we've popped the seal, or
yeah, we popped the seal on that one.
What's the word? What's the term? Broken the seal?
Do you think the more we talk about this, that is it worthwhile going down this, trying to figure out the the phrase. Pop the seal.
Oh, no. Oh, because we talked about Haas and Nanking. So,
Yeah.
So we've definitely opened it.
So we popped the seal.
I don't even know what that means.